Top of the morning to you. It's the 6th of January, Monday the 6th of January 2025, and it's 11:15 in the morning. We've been up at 7 o'clock as usual and taken the children, picked the children up at Orangefield and taken them to Orangefield Primary and the wee nursery school that Noah goes to. And I'm sitting in front of the computer now, and it's a book review, and this is a book I didn't really want to read, and you'll understand whenever I explain. It's called Boy Matthew, and it's a story of grief and grace. And the boat here up at Port Stewart Harbour, I think it is, where the folks spotted this boat, Phyllis and Hereford Arnold, who live at Blackskull. They spotted this boat, and they seemed to think that it had a strong connection with their son. It reminded them of their son, who had been killed tragically in a motorbike accident. But that wasn't the start of their losses. Years before that, they lost two other sons, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old, virtually at the same time, due to pneumonia. So Phyllis and Hereford thought that they had almost done with grief. But then they had Matthew, and Matthew was doing well along with his brother Ford, and Matthew was a good lad, and the two boys never gave them, Phyllis and Hereford, any trouble, and they became Christians, the both of them. And Matthew got married, met a fine young girl, and married Cara, and they had a granddaughter, Eve. And whenever Matthew was 24, he had always been interested in cars and motorbikes, and he was coming home from work, and here didn't he get killed too at the age of 24. And the book, the reason I didn't really want to read it is it's just full of tears, understandably. It doesn't try to answer the question, why did God allow this to happen? Because bad things happen to good people, and it's a tough read, a very tough read. Full of family pictures. This was a fine young man, and just horrible things happen to godly people, and there's no answers on this side of the grave. And I didn't like reading it too, because there's been hard things happening in my life as well. My sister took her own life over 10 years ago. Must be 14 or 15 years ago. That's the husband and wife there, Ciara and Matthew, and those were in happier times. And life can be pretty hard. So I do commend the book to you, but it's a tough read. So this is the book, Boy Matthew. It was Matthew was killed in 2020 at Blackskull T junction. So the book's only about a year old, 2 years old. I've had it in my bookshelf unread because I knew what it was going to be like to read it. Published by, or printed by JC Printing. ISBN number, there we go. It's about 112 pages long. There's plenty of photographs, but tough old read. Tough read. And there's Matthwew and Kira and Happier Days. And there he is with his motorbike. I'm not sure whether that's the one he was killed off. There you go. I find this book very, very sad to read. So I don't honestly know whether I would recommend it to you or not. For that reason, it costs £6.95, and it talks about the hope of heaven for people who are Christians and have bowed the knee to Jesus Christ. But that doesn't negate the horrible sense of loss that never goes away during your lifetime if you've lost somebody. So there's the book, and I'll leave it up to you whether you want to buy it or not. I found it a tough read. Okie doke.